Do you have a round that you think he's going to go out at? You think it's going to be a knockout?
Respectfully, I believe it's going to be a knockout, yes.
As the highly anticipated clash between boxing sensation Canelo Alvarez and the formidable Jermell Charlo draws nearer, the boxing world is abuzz with excitement and anticipation.
I want to win. I want to convincingly win this fight. A win would, for me, would make a big difference.
While fans eagerly await the showdown, seasoned boxing professionals have issued a chilling warning to Canelo Alvarez, cautioning him about the immense challenge that lies ahead. We know that Canelo Alvarez is set to face Jermell Charlo on September 30th, and numerous professional boxers are expressing concerns to Canelo about the upcoming bout. Floyd Mayweather, while holding no personal grudges against Canelo, does believe that age may become a significant factor in this fight. Floyd emphasizes the considerable wear and tear that boxing inflicts on fighters, noting that one can age rapidly in this sport. He underscores the need for caution and intelligent decision-making in the boxing business, particularly in safeguarding fighters' health. Mayweather suggests that there should be increased research and testing to ensure fighters' well-being. On the other hand, Bernard Hopkins is more optimistic about Jermell's chances against Canelo and believes he has a strong likelihood of emerging victorious. Bernard confidently asserted that Charlo holds a substantial opportunity to win, estimating his chances at over 85%. According to Bernard, Charlo's advantage lies in his approach. He isn't entering the ring solely to prove a point, which might play into Canelo's strategy. Instead, Charlo intends to establish from the very first round that he rightfully belongs there, showcasing his toughness and sending a message that Canelo's prime has passed. The objective is to make it clear to Canelo that he has indeed slowed down and can't simply surrender and pretend otherwise. This revelation needs to happen early in the fight. Evander Holyfield also believes that age could be a determining factor in the fight, but he holds the belief that Jermell has a chance to secure a victory, especially if the bout goes the distance. According to Holyfield, it promises to be an engaging contest, as both fighters possess formidable skills. Holyfield expressed his perspective, saying, "If this fight goes the distance, I think Charlo has the edge. He's a talented boxer with impressive stamina. I've known him since he was just 13 years old, back when I was training in Houston, Texas. Charlo is a skilled fighter, and although Canelo is undoubtedly a great fighter, age might be catching up with him. It's the nature of the sport. If you stay in it for too long, someone younger and hungrier will come for you. It's admirable to see how the younger generation doesn't back down." On the other hand, Shakur Stevenson also acknowledges that Canelo is a formidable opponent, highlighting the challenge he presents in the ring. However, he wouldn't be taken aback if Charlo emerges victorious. He expressed, "I wouldn't be surprised at all if Charlo beats him. I really wouldn't be shocked. It all depends on whether Canelo can pressure him without taking too much damage or getting buzzed. That's going to be quite fascinating to witness." Meanwhile, Abel Sanchez is of the opinion that Canelo will ultimately prevail, but he anticipates that Charlo will present a tough challenge, particularly in the early rounds. Abel remarked, "The first 4 or 5 rounds are expected to be somewhat challenging for Canelo. However, once he adapts to the speed, it'll resemble a fight similar to the plant bout. Canelo will wear him down." Charlo is an exceptional fighter, and of the two brothers, he has been more active. He will pose some difficulties for Canelo, but in the end, Canelo will come out on top. Adrian Broner has a preference for Canelo but is unable to bet against Charlo due to their bond as brothers. Adrian shared, "I have a lot of respect for Canelo, but I just can't go against Charlo. Our relationship might not be the best in the world, but I won't go against my brother. I just can't do it. It's highly unlikely to occur, and I'm rooting for him to win." Similarly, Malik Scott clearly sees Canelo as the favorite, but he's not ruling out Jermell just yet. Scott recognizes numerous positive qualities in Jermell, particularly his ability to excel when faced with adversity. Scott believes that Jermell thrives under pressure and anticipates a crucial moment in the fight where he'll face a unique challenge, which he's confident Jermell can overcome with flying colors. Despite any perceived stubbornness outside the ring, Scott firmly believes that Jermell possesses an innate boxing genius. Calvin Ford acknowledges that both fighters enter the ring with something to prove. However, he expresses reservations about Canelo's recent performances, noting that in his last 3 fights, Canelo didn't seem to be at his best. Both Charlo and Canelo are entering this fight with something to prove. Charlo aims to establish himself, while Canelo wants to demonstrate that he still possesses the agility and skills that have propelled him to his current status. It's a showdown where someone is likely to be knocked out.
I want to win. I want to convincingly win this fight. He lost to Bivol, and for some odd reason that win didn't capitalize for, but a win would, for me, would make a big difference.
Johnny Nelson is increasingly inclined to believe that Charlo could secure a victory and is even starting to consider him as the favorite. Nelson suggests, don't be surprised if Charlo manages to outmaneuver Canelo. Canelo is undeniably a phenomenal fighter, though not quite the same fighter he once was, but he still outperforms 98% of the fighters worldwide. On the other hand, I'm beginning to lean towards Charlo as a potential victor. I believe he possesses all the necessary attributes to achieve that. On the other hand, Oscar De La Hoya believes he knows the key to Charlo beating Canelo. Oscar explained that any fighter who employs a style akin to Bivol will give Canelo difficulties. This includes those who maintain their distance and employ a jab effectively in front of him. Anyone who understands how to maintain distance, as Bivol did, will present a challenge for Canelo. Plain and simple. We know that Canelo's style is akin to walking on quicksand. It has served him well over the years, relying on power to knock out opponents and aggressively closing the gap. However, anyone adopting a similar style to Bivol, focusing on boxing and distance management, is likely to trouble Canelo. Interestingly, Keith Thurman also believes that Canelo should adopt this technique. Keith points out, take a look at how Bivol defeated him. There was a particular combination that Bivol employed, which effectively kept Canelo at a distance, especially when Canelo found himself against the ropes. It was the 1-2-1 sequence, something that people sometimes overlook when seeking to maintain distance. Bivol appeared lean, in prime shape, and ready for battle, while Canelo seemed noticeably bulkier. Canelo appears to grasp the significance of what Bivol brought to the table against him, and it seems he's already looking to capitalize on that knowledge. The challenge of moving up in weight divisions is real. Keith says that he doesn't discourage fighters from making that move, but he always advises them to maintain their athleticism and not shy away from being the smaller fighter in the ring. He said that his goal is to secure a victory, and he wants to do so convincingly. While he may have lost to Bivol, it's strange that it didn't quite elevate him, but a win in this bout would definitely make a significant difference. Leonard Ellerby believes that Canelo has much to prove in this fight and faces a considerable challenge in going up against someone like Charlo. Leonard expressed, people have been saying that he's lost a step, but I believe this fight will be where he lays it all on the line. He's coming off an injury, claiming to be back at 100%, and I think we'll witness the best version of him at this moment. He's up against a tough opponent in Charlo, and he is truly hungry. Many people are discounting Jermell's chances, which, in Leonard's opinion, is an unwarranted dismissal. Jermell possesses a diverse skill set, and one of his standout qualities is his unwavering confidence. When discussing Jermell Charlo, the first thing that should be acknowledged is that he's a winner. We've witnessed him stage comebacks in fights and situations where you'd expect him to bring his A game. Jermell isn't letting any of Canelo's talk get under his skin, and he firmly believes there's a marked contrast when it comes to assessing their experience levels. Canelo stated during the press conference that his experience and power will be the deciding factors in this fight. To that, Leonard said that he can counter that his speed and power will make the difference. He said that Charlo possesses a wealth of experience, whereas Canelo turned pro at 15. That's just a 2-year difference in experience. It's important to note that Canelo may have more fights, but many of those took place in Mexico. Meanwhile, Gary Russell may not be overly optimistic about Jermell's prospects, but he's not ruling him out completely. Gary commented, Jermell has a puncher's chance, but Canelo, he's the man. I have a lot of respect for both Canelo and Charlo, with Charlo bringing a lot to the table. However, Canelo is exceptionally seasoned, having gone through many battles that have left a lasting psychological impact. I believe the simplicity of his approach is what makes him so effective. After reviewing recent sparring footage of him working with his sparring partner, George Foreman pointed out that Jermell is showcasing power in the right way. George noted, that's precisely how you should exhibit your power, by practicing body shots and chest strikes, without the need to focus solely on a guy's head. While Canelo Alvarez has certainly faced elite competition throughout his career and has emerged victorious against some of the best in the business, Jermell Charlo poses a unique and formidable challenge. the warning from boxing pros and analysts is not to be taken lightly. Canelo will need to be at the absolute peak of his skills and conditioning to secure victory in this high-stakes encounter. As the date of the fight approaches, the boxing world will be watching closely to see if Canelo Alvarez can rise to the occasion and overcome the terrifying challenge that Jermell Charlo represents. With both fighters at the top of their game, this bout promises to be a classic showdown that will be remembered for years to come. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon.